Animal neglect. 6 puppies found like miles from home, cold, wet, dehydrated, low blood sugar, maybe even sick. I'm told nothing can be done. They go back to their owner. Hello, welcome back to my channel. If you're new, welcome. Click there to subscribe. Hit the bell to sign up for notifications. And then when you click the link directly in the box below, I can send you a copy of my free book. So this happened here in Nelson. It was just actually last Saturday. We had just been out skiing. I was just about to hop into the shower. Got a text from someone who was staying at a vacation rental. They'd been out skiing and they came across someone trying to help 6 puppies and what appeared to be the mom that were miles from Nelson that appeared to be lost. They were cold, wet, shivering, and she wanted to know, what can I do? Who can I call? How can we get help? So her, along with the person who was there, and other, just super concerned, pet people from Nelson, were all able to bring all these pups, miles back into town. These poor little things, they're unable to really even walk. And yeah, you wouldn't believe sort of what happened in the whole story. Our awesome, super concerned guest, she put up a post, showing a picture of this mom and these pups. Does anyone know? Do you have any idea who can I contact? Within a short period of time, I think the SPCA was contacted, and the owner, quote unquote, owner of these dogs was put in contact with this person who then called and was repeatedly calling, saying, yeah, these are my dogs. Yeah, they've been gone for, several hours, but something happened to do with snow and they were somehow able to escape their enclosure. Yeah, and I'll be up there. Don't worry about it. My daughter and then my wife, they heard about what was going on. They both went up to the parking lot to help get these puppies. My wife called both of the local veterinary clinics. They're both aware of this person and the multiple incidents that he's had. And both of the different people on the phone said, don't give him his dogs back. Unfortunately, the owner shows up at the parking lot demanding all his puppies back. He comes up with some lame excuse as to what happened. The snow fell down, they broke their fence, and they've only been gone for hours. Yeah, they were a bit tired. This is about 3 o'clock. He said they haven't really had any food to eat yet today. These little, 14-week-old puppies. One of the little pups was really sick. He or she couldn't even really keep his head up. My wife had her in her arms. Poor little thing vomited more than a few times. In spite of the owner's protests, we were able to get all the pups into our car, drove them down to one of the local clinics. They were able to look at one of the ones that appeared to be the sickest. But, the owner is declining any form of treatment. He still is the registered owner of these puppies. And 2, there's no legal way that the veterinary clinic and or us as, private citizens are able to just keep those dogs and make some form of citizen's arrest. Really what we're hoping for is that, this man does not get his puppies back, right? And he's no longer allowed to breed dogs. Yet the way the laws are, they're these really weak, pathetic animal protection laws. All this man has to do is prove that he's providing adequate food, water, and shelter, which I would kind of question, but he's been able to do it. And the clinic, they're not in a position, they can't actually legally take the dogs away from him. He's got the dogs back. Since that time, there's been multiple posts on Facebook in response to the original post. That someone has actually set up a petition to sign, specifically about this incident and about this person. I'm going to link to that petition. It'd be great if you could go ahead and sign it. Secondary too, if you live locally, you live in British Columbia, feel free to please call the SPCA. I've since called the provincial SPCA, which would investigate cases of animal neglect or abuse. I'm hoping something comes out of that. And lastly, I think the biggest thing, it has to come from the politicians. We need to have locally, at least regionally, stronger animal welfare, animal protection laws. I see that in many different areas, there's much stronger animal protection laws. Many of the states, for instance, many of your animal protection laws, there's far stronger than we have here in Canada. Many of the European countries. So yeah, it seems like in some cases we're behind. And I understand, something happens one time, people make mistakes, we all make mistakes. But when you've got someone that's just breeding animals, what's he gonna do? Breed them a couple times a year, charge $1,000 a puppy, get 10 litters of these cute little golden doodle puppies. I mean, what does that give them? $10,000 a litter? Woo, $20,000 a year? Clearly, this is happening for profit. It's not for like the betterment of society. It's not because he's like, God, I just have such a love for these dogs. I'm gonna keep breeding animals. No, it's all about money and profit. Like there's no way, in my opinion, that this person should be allowed to have animals, be allowed to be breeding animals, be allowed to sell animals. Like, end of story. Thanks for listening, you guys. And yeah, and if you're able to make some type of change in some way, that'd be awesome. And once again, I hope you sign that petition. Thanks again for the person who actually set that petition up. And if you're able to call the SPCA and report a complaint, even better, do so. Thanks again. It's Dr. Jones.